Hey there, it's Paul Tarbath here, certified holistic nutritionist and lifestyle coach at Rawsome Healthy. Today I'm going to talk about 5 foods that can negatively affect your health and promote all kinds of unwanted health issues and diseases, with some even being life-threatening. So if you're eating any of these on a day-to-day basis, what you'll discover in this video will hopefully help you move towards eating health-promoting foods rather than ones that actually damage your health. Now, what if I told you that persistent skin issues that you currently have could be healed? Or that really annoying excess weight that you have now and which just won't budge no matter what you try can actually be released with zero dieting or starvation. Perhaps you're someone who suffers with a very serious health condition like type 2 diabetes. Well, for example, there are many people who suffer with type 2 diabetes and who believe that it's simply something that they have to put out with for the rest of their life and make the best of. Yet time and time again, we've seen how our clients were able to heal and come off their medication. Now, many people think that eating vegetarian and vegan is healthy by default. Well, I can tell you that this is definitely not the case, and I'll expand on this a bit later. So the 5 foods to stop eating are, first off, oils. Of course, many people think that you should only have the so-called healthiest of oils, coconut oil, supposedly olive oil, and it should be virgin, organic, raw and cold pressed, etc. And the Mediterranean diet, for instance, is one where many people use as an example to show supposedly how healthy olive oil is. But if we look at the actual science, it tells us a very different story. Many vegetable oils are loaded with saturated fat and very imbalanced with an omega-6 to 3 ratio, which can then cause inflammation in your body and lead to disease. Just the very fact that oils are 100% fat without any other nutrients in them, including fiber, vitamins, minerals, should be a red flag of how unbalanced they actually are. Indeed, other oils like coconut oil, for example, should be avoided as well because they raise your LDL cholesterol levels, which raises your risk of heart disease. Here is a video that we did here all about coconut oil and the negative health effects on the screen now. Palm oil and soybean oil have also been shown to be detrimental to arterial health and so again raise your risk of heart disease. So in short, oils, even raw or cold pressed ones, should never be part of your diet if you desire good arteries and of course a healthy heart. Number 2 is dairy products. Hormone imbalances are now rife in our modern world, and we know from working with our clients how widespread a problem it is. And consuming dairy products in your diet is a significant source of exposure to female hormones. For example, commercial cow's milk contains large amounts of hormones which are progesterone and estrogen. This is a great concern when you understand that the human body makes its own hormones, and even very small amounts, very tiny amounts in the diet can alter the delicate hormonal balance of your body. And this high hormonal intake from dairy also goes for animals that have not been given additional hormones and by themselves quite naturally produce lots of these hormones in their bodies, which people then consume by having dairy products in their diet like milk and cheese. For example, data shows that men who consume milk absorb the estrogens in the milk and then have a significant impact on their testosterone levels. Indeed, an array of studies have shown that the consumption of dairy products is a significant risk factor when it comes to diseases such as prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, testicular cancer, uterine cancer and breast cancer. If this in itself is not enough to make dairy or mark dairy down as being unfit for you to consume, then what about casein, the main protein found in dairy? Studies have shown that this protein promotes the growth of cancer, with some studies even finding that the development of cancer can be controlled more by the levels of the casein in the diet rather than the exposure to the underlying carcinogen itself. Additional reasons not to consume dairy also that they contain antibiotic residues, there are high concentrations of pesticides including DDT, which is a known human carcinogen and which has already been banned but is still found in the environment. Associated with the risk of a number of immune-related disorders, including multiple sclerosis and type 1 diabetes. Dairy has also been associated with an increased risk of bone fractures, which goes against the long-held view by many that dairy is actually good for your bones. Let's move on to number 3 now in the list, which is eggs. In a 14-study review, researchers found that people who consume the most eggs increased their risk of cardiovascular disease by 19%. And if those people had already had diabetes, then their risk of developing heart disease jumped by a huge 83% with the increased consumption of eggs. Now, cancer is also linked to egg consumption, and the World Health Organization found that after analysing data from 34 countries, they found that eating eggs is associated with death by both rectal and colon cancers. Prostate cancer has also been linked to egg consumption, and it was found in a study by the National Institutes of Health that by consuming 2.5 eggs per week, men increased their risk of a deadly form of prostate cancer by a huge 81%. Egg consumption is also associated with diabetes. A review of 14 studies showed that people who consume the largest amount of eggs increased their risk of diabetes by 68% when compared to those who ate the fewest amount of eggs. Number 4 on our list is fish. Now, quite often when our clients come to work with us, they still have fish, although they also have plenty of healthy plant and raw foods in their diet. Now, significant amounts of saturated fat and cholesterol can be found in fish, and which are known not to be good for promoting heart health. Now, you will hear people say that you can get healthy omega-3s from fish, but you are in fact much better off getting these from healthy fats from whole plant foods. For instance, flax seeds and chia seeds are both great sources of omega-3s. Just like other animal products, fish also contains animal protein, which is associated with increased levels of what is called IGF-1 in the human body. Now, the problem is that the increased levels of this hormone from eating animal products is associated with increased risk of developing cancer. Another great concern with regards to fish consumption is pollutants and contaminants. Heavy metals like mercury, pesticides like DDT, and industrial toxins like PCBs have all been found in fish due to contamination of their environment. And the last one is number 5, processed vegan foods. Now, this is not a food item as such, but more of a group of unhealthy ingredients that can be found all too readily in many processed vegan foods. It's easy for people to make the mistake that they think that, eating foods that are vegan, then by default they've got to be healthy, haven't they? But this unfortunately is far from the truth. Yes, they'll be free of animal products, which as we have seen are very detrimental to your health if you consume them in your diet, but there are also many other non-animal foods that can also be very damaging to your health, such as oils, which we've already covered. So, what are some of the other unhealthy vegan foods or ingredients that you need to be avoiding in your diet for great health? Oils added to cakes, cookies, pizzas, donuts, peanut butter, margarine, or added to a salad, for instance, which we've already covered. Added salt is another big problem, which can negatively affect the arterial health and raise your blood pressure, so promote the risk of heart disease. Sugar, of course you get sugar from fruits, but when it's added to food as refined sugar, then it's basically what is called junk calories, devoid of vitamins, fiber, minerals, etc. And a perfect example of this would be high fructose corn syrup, which can be found added to many foods and drinks, and of course is very unhealthy to consume. Food additives, identified by E-numbers in Europe, are routinely added to processed foods, including processed vegan foods, and are used to do things like, prolong shelf life and enhance flavors, but by their very nature are unnatural and can be very unhealthy for you. So now you know that you shouldn't be eating these 5 foods in your diet, you will most probably be thinking to yourself now, okay, well I'll just remove them. But then you're left with another problem, making sure that your diet is still well balanced and is able to give your body exactly what it needs. So get started by downloading our free 3-day lean and clean menu plan, where you'll discover balanced and nutritious meals that will support you in restoring your health versus those that actually steal your health. Follow the link you'll see on the screen to sign up for free. So which one or all of these 5 foods are you still eating, and what are you going to do about it now you've seen this video? Please post your comments below. Remember to like this video, subscribe to us for more videos, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Take care for now.